no problems with me. My got good. You know I brought them. Might not hit a bad. Someone, send them opposition. They move wrong. So
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons. Season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Lucky 56. Hot. Hot. Hot.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on second down. Walsh. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Four down. Ringo.
Now they try the right side here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Walsh. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
From the gun, Walsh. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On 1st down, Walsh throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Give him 30 yards there. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Walsh. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. Now the Ravens have taken the early lead. Now this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Watch him now, Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
Right back to him on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
From the gun, Walsh. Being chased out left. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Looking to throw. Walsh. He's going to launch this thing. Wait up. It got his man. Complete. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And they'll go on the ground. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Back to throw. Walsh, flush to his right, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Lucky 56. Gun.
Throwing on 1st down. Walsh steps away to his left. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 53 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Off the play fake. Walsh. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off play action. Walsh. Throw left side complete. It's Terry. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A final shot before break. Walsh. He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there as time expires in the first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered defensively. A disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean,
all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons say they have it. They do.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let... And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Here's a toss coming right. And he's not going to get there. So they come up empty on the 2-point conversion, and they are unable to tie up this football game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Room here to run. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 48 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Walsh. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Walsh going to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Gates, the intended receiver there. And it's second down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield. He was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
Yep, as a result, knocks it down. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Looking to throw. Walsh buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for a milestone sack, number 150 in his great career as he continues to climb the all-time leaderboard. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a great return as he takes this up just shy of the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On 1st down, Walsh. He's going to look deep down the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Walsh. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Gates, the intended receiver there.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Off the bootleg, Walsh. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And this one is right through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll set up to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit!
Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
To throw on second down, Walsh. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw on third down, Walsh forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over! Now let's go! Green, 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased, and he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw. Walsh. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
87 speed. 87 speed.
Looking to throw. Walsh. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit, Detroit. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This quarterback now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%.
Gone, gone, gone.
They'll set up a throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
319.
He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 44 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet,
and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons get a bit closer. Hey, Pointer, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. He'll get 3 up to midfield. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Walsh escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Right side catch, this is Gates. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Caught by Gates, left side. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here, losing yardage to the 14. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Falcons on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So a field goal gets you back within a score, but they're going to go for the bigger chunk here. Kicking team on the sidelines, offense on for 4th down. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 25 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go on the ground. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll run it here. And he's going to build his way forward to the 48. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at third and a few inches.
No, check, Patriot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 18, and he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. So first and 10 now from the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Gates has it over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.